Hello, it's Sean from the video game Bonk.io. Now, if you don't know who I am, I'm a Bonk.io player. I have more experience points than anyone else in the world. My account is the second highest level player in the world. And those are about all of my credentials. I'm not like a well-known map maker or anything, but I'm well known in the community. I think recently probably not as much, because if you've been on Bonk at any point in the last 7 days, you'll almost certainly, especially if you're in custom rooms, often have seen a robot labeled Shunk and then a number, or new player and then a number. So that has made quite a few people completely hate me. If you went on Bonk at any point in the last seven days, you'll have seen at least one room titled "Shunk should kill himself" or "Shunk," just defamatory things about me, or people saying they hate me or they hate the Shunk bots, or stuff like that. Okay, so that's the state of my reputation. It's so hot in this car, by the way. By the end of this video, I'm going to be absolutely drenched in sweat. I'm going to sweat like a pig. Don't know what to do about it, but I have to record this video because earlier this morning, I was at the bagel store eating a bagel, and I get a DM from the Red Kirby, who's a moderator in Bonk Community Discord, and he asks me about the Shunk bots. And he asks me if I'm behind them. And I've told this to everyone that's asked, because I don't want people to know that I'm behind them, because it would make people hate me even more. So I tell the Red Kirby, they're made by someone who wants everyone to hate me. So a lie. So okay, I'm a liar. I've lied to a few people about the Shunk bots. But most people, almost everyone, doesn't know the true intention of the Shunk bots. They're not just like just robots to make everyone upset or advertise my maps or advertise me in any way. We'll get to that. But so this morning I get a DM from the Red Kirby, and he tells me Chaz is going to ban you if you don't do something about this. After I told him that it wasn't me, because Wizardly Pig, who I've collaborated with multiple times in the past on many different projects, knew about the project, and the Red Kirby told Wizardly Pig, Chaz is going to ban Shunk. So Wizardly Pig told the Red Kirby what I was doing. So the Red Kirby told me, that's great, Shunk, but I need to tell Chaz something so you don't get banned. The Red Kirby's a great friend. So, okay, so then I tell the Red Kirby that my plan is to finish getting all of this and then to make a video to show to Chaz to cause some sort of change in Bonk.io. So I'm forced to make this video as soon as possible, or else I'm going to be banned from the video game Bonk.io that I've played more than anyone else in the world. I love the game. I'm top 10 in arrows. I don't know if that means anything to anyone, but I'm very, very good at it, and I've spent so much time on it, and I just wanted to do well enough so Chaz can keep it online. But so back to the Shunk bots. So originally the Shunk bots were not intended for the purpose that they're being used for now. I shut it down this morning because I didn't want any more attention from Chaz or whatever, but it's probably too late. So the original intentions of the bot. So I started with trying to make a map called Gang Grounds Prisons, using a piece of software that the Ninth Doctor made for me. I didn't want to like fully remake Bonk Prisons. It's so much work. So I had the Ninth Doctor make me a robot that can help with it. So I put all of the code into Cursor, and I had Cursor make it for me. So I'm vibe coding a Bonk.io map, which is very cool. So I'm vibe coding a Bonk.io map, and I give Cursor the credentials to a testing account called Shunk1, and it logs in, tests the map, and then it makes it almost perfectly the first time. So I don't know how Cursor's smart enough to even make a Bonk.io map using encoded map data, but I figure it decodes it first. But so that's pretty cool. And then Oh, I'm back on. I'm in a lobby, and a Shunk numbered account joins my room. And I didn't put the pieces together that this is at all related to Cursor. It's like Shunk number 68 or something. So I didn't put the pieces together that this was like all connected to Cursor. I was like, oh, my Shunk accounts are compromised. That sucks. So I was expecting him to start saying slurs or something so people think I'm racist. But it didn't start doing that. And then I open up Cursor, and it looks like Cursor has been trying to test its map using my Shunk numbered accounts, but it keeps getting banned or something. I don't know exactly why I did it. But then I decide to guide Cursor a little bit, and I have it join rooms as a joke, initially as a joke, to suggest Game Grounds Prison, because it's such a stupid map. You add anything to Bonk Prisons and it makes it better, but Bonk Prisons in itself is just like a really bad map. It's just flats, but it takes forever to die because there's 2 walls there. So it's just, it's the first time that like new players see like that gimmick where you can shoot an arrow under the wall. So then they're like, oh my god, this is like a next level Bonk.io map, even though it's like the most basic thing ever. But that's not what this is about. So I start allowing Cursor to advertise the map by suggesting it, which I know is wrong. I shouldn't have done that. If I get banned for that, that's totally reasonable. But then after maybe 5 hours of that or something, at the end of the workday, I tell Cursor to start capturing the chat packets in the logs, because I would like it I would like to see how angry people are at the Shunk bots, because I've already started seeing during the time that I've been playing it, people say they hate the Shunk bots, the bots that join and suggest Game Grounds Prisons and then leave. So I start capturing chat logs, and almost immediately I start seeing like, you know, pedophiles. I start seeing pedophiles saying pedophilic things in the Bonk.io chat. So I'm like, oh, that's not good. So I change the bot to instead go for like 2 minutes, suggest the map, and then leave, to just stay there, to just stay in the room and capture chat. So then I started seeing more and more of these pedophilic things come into the chat logs. I'm like, oh, this is a huge major problem. So the next morning, I decide to minimize the odds of the bot getting kicked by making it stop suggesting Game Grounds Prisons, and it just stays in the room for as long as possible to not get kicked. I made it, I made it so it would capture the password name from the rooms, because people started passwording their rooms so the bots couldn't get in. So they would put the password in the room name, like, what does a cow say? Because if they put like PW123, the bot will get the 123 every time, because it had like a common passwords list of password 1, 123, 1234, stuff like that. This is making me sound really bad, but in the end, I think it'll be a net good for Bonk.io. So I have it do that. I have it go through Chat GPT 4.1 Nano, so it will actually read the title. So if it says cow says moo, that will mean it will try the password MOO. So that's great. That's really cool. There's a lady staring at me right now. She must think I'm insane. But that's great. Okay, so the bots are in these rooms, and I'm seeing all of these chat messages log in, and it's getting worse and worse. Every single thing I see in this in these chat logs is absolutely horrendous. So then I decide, okay, I'm going to let the bots run for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something, to just get as many chat logs as humanly possible, so we can find these pedophiles and extract them from the Bonk community, so we can have these people excommunicated from Bonk.io, because it's awful. If you've ever been on Bonk.io, you know that the community is extremely toxic. You'll see the N-word at least 5 times. You'll see a swastika. You'll see not safe for work maps. You'll see all this stuff if you play for an hour. So everyone on Bonk.io knows this, but it's almost impossible to realize how big of a problem the community of Bonk.io is unless you're in every single room all at the same time. Because it really is, it's the most horrendous thing you'll ever see. But, okay, so I have these bots in the rooms monitoring chat logs for 4 days or something. It keeps going up and down, so all the bots go down and then they come back up and stuff like that. So I go back and fix the problem, and then all the bots come back online. So overall, the bots were only online monitoring chats for a little over 100 hours. 111 hours is how long the bots were online. Now, the worst thing I think I saw in the chat logs, and you'll see all of this, but the worst thing I saw was people sharing actual child sexual abuse material on the video game Bonk.io, which is absolutely insane. Bonk.io has zero moderation. You can say the N-word, you can say slurs, you can say whatever you want. You can say, and there's a filter. The default on the filter cursing is checkmarked. So you won't see, it'll get replaced with the word bonk. So if someone says the N-word hard R, it will say just the word bonk instead. However, this filter is almost worse than Sentry from Bonk Community Discord, because you can just put a space. If you wanna say a swear word, all you have to do is say C space UNT, and then it just goes through. So the filter is practically useless. But even if the filter was amazing, you could just turn the filter off in your settings. Then you see all the slurs, you see all the swear words, you see anything you want. Links don't get filtered at all, which is even worse. For reasons I'll show you. But, okay, so Bonk.io has a problem, and that problem is moderation. Moderation doesn't exist on Bonk.io. You can practically do whatever you want on Bonk.io and not get in trouble. Your account won't get banned. You won't get terminated. Unless you do one thing. There's one sort of moderation thing. If you go into custom rooms and try to make an account called roleplay or whatever, you'll get banned for stays. I don't know if that's still active, but that's what it was like 6 years ago or something. Okay, so no moderation on Bonk.io, huge problem. And now we have these chat logs. Now these chat logs I've posted on bonkboards.io/chatlogs. It's a passworded page, so not anyone can see it. But the password is password123, no capital letters or anything, and you'll be able to see these chat logs. Now, these chat logs contain awful, awful, awful things. It's pretty disgusting, the things that you'll find on these chat logs, but I published all of them for anyone to see. Okay, so now the chat logs themselves. You have a few major people that are in these chat logs, and these were only captured over 111 days. So if you take these numbers, Bonk.io right now has an average of about 200 players online at any given time. Historically, Bonk.io got up to 10,000 players. Bonk.io during school days has around 1,000 players, which is quite a bit more. But even if we just take this as like the baseline average for the entire history of Bonk.io, if we take 200 players for the entire duration of Bonk.io, it would be about 800 times more of these incidents happening over the course of 10 years. Because the bots were only online for 111 hours. So, okay. Now we go to the chat logs themselves. If you click on any of the ones that are marked confirmed, which were personally read by person and not my robot, and read the chats, you'll see confirmed cases of predatory behavior, grooming behavior happening on the video game Bonk.io. So here's just a random one. So this is what the website looks like. The chat logs, and then the name of the room with like timestamps and stuff, and like the marked marked stuff, so I'll just read some. So this is from one particularly evil pedophile. This guy has multiple rooms where he shares child pornography to other people on bonk.io, which is insane. That's an insane thing to do. So this is Mr. Melon 350. Mr. Melon 350 says, the only thing I use X, the social media, for is watching child porn. And then Timekeeper1 responds, CP? And then Mr. Melon, in his defense of child pornography, says, watching CP potentially encourages abusers to abuse more is not direct enough to be morally wrong. So he's just like defending the child pornography that he sends in chat. And I fully like redacted all links from my server, from this website. So you can't view any of the links he sent, but they were like links to Twitter or whatever. I didn't open them, of course, because that's awful and I don't want to go to jail. So I deleted them from the server. I deleted them from the website. But this is awful. And this is just one instance. Okay, so he's defending child pornography the entire time. So pretty bad. Doesn't get much worse than that. Okay, so when you go on this website, you'll also see a link called Dossier. So the Dossier link has a bunch of users and all of their extracted links. So let's just go to the first one. This user is called Azenask. So you go to Azenask and you read his chat. So each of these pages have all of the chats that this person participated in over that 111-hour period. And if you read their chat logs, some of them are a little suspicious. So if you look at these top ones, you'll see this guy says, I'm a pedophile, by the way. I raped you as a toddler. I raped you when you were 3 years old. I like telling kids they're my N-word slaves. F Korea, I R-word Korean women. So that's just 5 highlighted messages, and then each of them have reasons why they were marked. So this guy says self-identified as a pedophile, floods rooms with racial slurs, rape threats. He self-ID'd as a child rapist and stuff. So you can go to this Dossier, and you'll see a bunch of like confirmed predators from the video game bonk.io that were just active, that were just online during that 4-day period, which is it's scary to think about because bonk.io is primarily a game for children. Inside of this chat log, every single time that someone asks their age, that chat log gets posted here. So you can go into practically any of the chat logs that say, how old are you? And there will be minors self-identifying as children. They'll be like, I'm 15, I'm 13, I'm 12, you know? So there's this argument that some people have on bonk.io as for why not safe for work content should be allowed. And they say, bonk.io is not a children's game, actually. There are plenty of adults on bonk.io. So, I mean, what are you talking about? Everyone on this game is children. Why do you think during school time, the player count jumps up 5-fold? Why do you think everyone there acts like a total idiot? If they were all adults, I mean, okay, even if only 10% of the bonk.io player base were children, it's still not okay to say not safe for work things because the danger is just too much. You shouldn't be saying anything sexual or inappropriate to a child. I don't know how this is such a widespread opinion in the community. Just because you know an adult on bonk.io, it doesn't make it okay to say sexual things. So that's a problem. So here's another example. This guy, his name is Thickies. Thickies is another pedophile on bonk.io. There's plenty. So this guy's Y-marked says, Thickies is one of the clearest predators in the capture. He asks for nudes, jokes about hypersexual minors in his DMs, admits the bit where I'm ERPing with minors and literally e-sexed a minor when confronted. I actually am a pedo. I've been grooming versinks. asks for a 12-year-old toddler, and says he is saying not safe for work things to minors. And then some of his messages, he says, can I have a nude? So he's asking for nude images. There's countless examples of those too. Examples where people are getting blackmailed for sexual photos. Let's see, we can go to an account. We'll get to the account names later, but an account called the RAP1ST. So the rapist. This guy is the rapist. I don't know how that name is even possible on bonk.io. We'll get to that. But so this guy says, this guy's Y-marked says, in chat, he repeatedly advertises a rape gang, says I'm a rapist, the biggest rapist, celebrates rape-themed dance roleplay in rooms that were predatory, so sexual violence and kid-heavy game lobbies. So that's what his says. So this is just another one of them. He only has 55 messages in the 111 period, and almost all of them are practically evil. And of course, back to Mr. Mellon, he sends child pornography. He says in the room where he shares the child pornography, he says, there's no need for child porn. It's just something that's fun to watch, like adult porn. He says, I think it should be legalized. Did you like the surprise, in reference to the links he sent? So that's pretty bad. And that's just like one of many of like the confirmed predator accounts. There's a guy on a new player account called New Payer who says a bunch of not sexual things to minors, and then admits that he's on another account called Skull Crusher 15, who should also be banned. But even on Skull Crusher 15's room, he goes, even on Skull Crusher 15's main account, he still says not safe for work things to minors. He talks about how pedophiles and how he's defending pedophiles, stuff like that. Okay, so all of that. So you get the gist of this page of it that's labeled dossier or dossier. I don't know how it's pronounced. Okay, so Mr. Mellon 350 is probably one of the worst pedophiles, predators on the platform. He's level 258, and he's just allowed. He's just allowed to be there. He's allowed in the community. So I want him banned. Of course, I want him banned from the video game bonk.io. But the least that I can do as just a member is to spread the word. Spread the word that this Mr. Mellon guy is just like an actual pedophile on the video game bonk.io. So I join a room, and this one is labeled community example. So this page here is meant to be an example of what the community of bonk.io has turned into. The community is irrecoverably toxic, because it's been unmoderated for so long. There's just no pruning of the bad players, and the bad players make the good players leave, and so it just all becomes bad players, because all the people who are moral, people that aren't pedophiles and Nazis and racists, they leave because they don't want to be involved in this type of community. Now, so I go into this room, and Mr. Mellon joins me. I don't know how he joined me. I unfriended him once I found out he actively shared child pornography on the room. But so he joins me, and I tell the host of this Death Era's room, can you please ban Mr. Mellon, please? He's a pedophile. And then I send the link of it. So you'll see this in the chat logs, but effectively I'm trying to get Mr. Mellon banned to isolate him from the community, and the entire chat is against me. So this AYXSHA guy keeps telling me, no one cares, Shunk, no one cares, he's not doing anything. And then this AYXSHA guy says no one cares about child pornography, calls pedophilia a kink, and then requests that I send the child pornography to him as a proof that Mr. Mellon did this. The host just ignoring it and saying he's not doing anything, it's fine. Never bans Mr. Mellon from the chat. And then this other guy, if you read the chat, it's the most mind-bogglingly insane thing you've ever read in your life, because everyone in the chat's just like defending Mr. Millen despite the proof that he's like an actual predator, actual pedophile that shares illegal content on the game they're playing. So this digital ball guy keeps telling him, well, if Millen just finds Jesus, it will be just fine. You know, Millen's actions, they're not evil because he wants to be evil. They're evil because that's just who he is as a person. Like, okay, ban the pedophile. You know, I'm gonna go insane. So I'm in this room and I keep telling everyone, and then this new player guy, who no doubt is like someone I know on a and is on my friend list, so he knows when I'm online. He saw me online, joined on a guest account, and then keeps making fun of me. So he joins, he calls me he calls my fake wife from that one video, N-word wife, you know, hard R. He keeps calling me Jewish, and then he keeps saying Millen is harmless and stuff like that. So this is what the community has turned into. A bunch of pedophile defenders that say the N-word and don't care about anything and just want to play Sniper Spot. Sniper Spot's the worst map ever. It's going to kill me. It's going to kill me someday. But, okay, so I'm inside this room. They refuse to ban Mr. Millen, who's just sitting there not saying anything the entire time. And it's absolutely unbelievable. And these are high-level players. My Name Goat, the host of the room, who's hosting Sniper Spot, he's level 200. This isn't like someone new to the game who's just toxic because they're 10 years old. This is someone who's been here for long enough to know what Bonk.io is like. But he doesn't care that this guy that shares child sexual abuse material on the video game is doing it. So this example of what the community is also on bonkboards.io/chatlogs. Okay, so now, one of the most horrific things on bonk.io that you'll find is this one guy who has an account called Lil Girls Are Soft. You go into these maps that are just drawings, polygon, using the polygons on bonk.io. You have them, you have the ability to create any shape you want on bonk.io, so you can have it on the map, which is really cool. It's one of the coolest things you can have, but it's used to make porn. It's used to make porn on the video game bonk.io. You go into a room, and then if the host is like level 30, they'll just flash you. They'll flash you like an image of a lady bent backwards getting slapped on her butt. Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to be vulgar. But that's what happens on bonk.io. And this is a game full of children. A game full of children that has porn on it. What are you doing? There's no moderation on this game. But okay, so everyone knows about the porn maps. There's countless porn maps in private collections that are done nothing about. So they're showing porn to kids. That's bonk.io. But then you have stuff that is somehow even more disturbing than showing porn to kids. This is a map by the person Lil Girls Are Soft. Now, this is an artwork of presumably a little girl, but then you go to the platforms. So this is a way that bonk.io differs from all other IO games. You have accounts, and you have chat, and you have ability to keep your text there. So that's one of the things that makes bonk.io so great. You're able to build reputation because you have accounts, you have maps, you have upvotes, you have ways to gain notoriety in this community. But it's abused for pedophiles to have access to children and proliferate pedophilic thoughts. So this map has platforms. So you see these platforms here that say, I'll just read it out verbatim. My favorite little niece and girl in the world, Sophia. This is when she was about 13. She's 19 now and doing well. Okay, so then it goes on for some time about how he makes bonk.io maps like hands and picnic time. So then there's an essay below it using all of the polygons. It says, P.S. A reminder that the child sex abuse industry is corrupt and taking away our freedom more and more every day due to the targeted sex-negative feminist ideology that has slowly worked its way into our society and is literally positioning us from the inside out. They're spewing out this absurd child sexual abuse victim narrative that has become so incoherent that it directly contradicts itself. They've now decided that not only are minors, I'm talking 12 to 17 here, teenagers, technically considered children by law, but they have downgraded into being actual children, and since sex is evil and children are victimized by sex, they must be protected and being sexualized. They are being subjugated and being kept time presented from their full potential. So it goes like that. This guy's publishing child abuse promotion on bonk.io and showing actual children. Now, there have been instances in the past as well that the Red Kirby has showed me of there being actual child porn maps made on bonk.io. I haven't seen them firsthand, but of course there is, because you have actual pedophiles showing actual children on the video game bonk.io without filter. This has worse moderation than 4chan. What are you doing? Why are you not doing anything about this game? Have I gone completely insane? Okay, so now you know that. But if you see it in this thing that's labeled QI Universe or whatever, you'll see all of his maps, all of his shapes. Like this one's talking about pedophilia on his Aphex Twin art map. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Okay, so he has like countless maps. He has countless maps called like CSA Industry Lies or whatever. Pedo Panic is a lie. Pedo Fear is a cult. CSA Industry cult. Asian want blonde. Preteens are hot. Little girls are soft. But then you go, once you scan all of this, you find this guy on YouTube, because for some reason this pedophile is just like perfectly fine with sharing his social media where he publishes his full name and full face onto YouTube. And you see this guy and it's just like a random Asian guy. It's just like an average Asian guy, you know, which, okay. So on this page, you'll also see his YouTube channel, where he's, you know, there. So you have like completely normal maps as well called Magical Forest, Tea Party, Arctic Ocean, Lollapalooza, Music Fest. So you have all of those, but then you go into them and they contain pro-pedophilia essays inside of them and links to pro-pedophilia content and stuff like that. So I don't know. Okay, so this isn't not safe for work visually, but it's not safe for work morally. Whoever wrote this should be killed. Am I wrong? I don't know. Who knows? Okay, so great. We have no moderation on like this completely evil guy. If you go deep into this QT network page, it's awful. You'll see things you wish you never have seen. It's horrendous. You'll see diagrams of foreskins and stuff like that. Awful stuff. Okay, so then next one. Okay, so if you've been in the bonk community for long enough, you'll know about this person called Finger Blaster 68. This guy, he sucks. He sucks so hard. He's practically like an evil pedophile Nazi groomer guy, and he just keeps making new accounts. He's always in the bonk.io community, but in this website, bonkboards.io.com/chatlogs or whatever, bonkboards.io/chatlogs, you'll see a PDF labeled evidence PDF. This is evidence of Finger Blaster 68 grooming children on the video game bonk.io. Now, this is like a few years ago, but this is just like one instance, and it's like the stupidest instance of the stupidest person getting exposed for being a pedophile, and he doesn't care, even though he's been doxxed and stuff. So in this evidence file, you'll see a PDF where someone gets groomed and extorted on bonk.io to send nude pictures of themselves, who of course is a minor. So you'll see this here. I'll scroll down on you so you'll see this. So here's Finger Blaster blackmailing someone. This says, "Give it to me now. I will leak the photo of you and your pet cat. Why are you blackmailing me? I'm only 14. Don't even think of deleting your photos. I have them saved in my laptop." So this is just happening in bonk.io chat. Like, that's just bonk.io chat. And this is like someone getting blackmailed, and then someone sending their home address, which I'm not going to show. I'm actually going to redact this. But, okay. And then someone else getting groomed, you know, stuff like that. People getting doxxed and stuff. So that's great. Suicide, sexual material, stuff like that. So that's all happening on bonk.io. Nothing has really been done about it. There's no way to even ban this guy. So you can't even blame Chaz. This is just, he'll make new accounts to continue to do this stuff. Okay. If you've been on bonk, so getting off of this topic for a second, if you've been on bonk for any given time, you'll have seen at least one N-word username, one Hitler username referencing sex in some way, Nazi skins, you know, swastikas, on bonk.io skins, penis skins, you know, ladies without shirts on, you know, stuff like that. But I don't know how it's even possible to do some of that. Do you mean Chaz doesn't filter out the N-word when he makes usernames? So bonkboards.io, it has a leaderboard of all the players on bonk.io, ranked by their level. So I was able to use this. I was able to use ChatGPT 4.1 Nano to just scan all the usernames for inappropriate content. It scanned all 300,000 for $1.8. You can't do that, Chaz. You can't just link to an API when you're... Oh, the camera's... You aren't able to use any AI at all to flag names that have the N-word in them. If you go to the flag names, so we have 300,000 names on our leaderboard. If you go to this page, you'll be able to see all of the names and their levels on bonk.io. And if you read the names, it's like, how do you not have any filter at all? So you go and you read, and this says like, I R-word e-girls, I R-word my kid, lolly impregnator. This is going to get taken out of context, and I'm going to get canceled on Twitter. I don't want to get canceled on Twitter. I'll bargain with you. So, and then you have like countless Adolf Hitlers, Adolf Hitler 1501, Adolf Hitler 2023. So this is the 2023 version of Adolf Hitler. So great. There's countless 1488s. Let's see how many 1488s. Okay, so 74 of these usernames contain 1488. You can't just like add a filter to the username creation that blacks out the word rape or 1488 or just the F word or N word with the hard R, because there's so many N words. I mean, there's so many of them. It's almost completely unbelievable. And then there's countless like pedophile names like child groomer, child molester, convicted pedo. So, okay. How does this get through? Oh, okay. So if you've been on Bonk at all, you've seen these names. I don't even know how you're supposed to look past that one. I can sort of look past the map thing because, you know, viewing images and scanning what the images are with AI, it can be more expensive. And I don't want to say to Chaz, like, you gotta delete bonk.io, or you have to spend all your money to preserve bonk.io. Because this is not like Chaz's doing. This is just the users of bonk.io posting things on bonk.io, because originally bonk.io, and I can see this because you make a game and you're like, this is going to be great. People are going to use this for good. But then, of course, naturally, people but did not use it for good. They just destroy it. They destroy it almost immediately, which is kind of sad to see, because I love the game Bonk.io, but it actively endangers children. It's like Chaz. Chaz keeps up Bonk.io as if it's a form of giving children to predators, because it's just a completely unmoderated mess where you have easily manipulated children just constantly available to these to people, to pedophiles. So he's made this platform completely unmoderated, something targeted to children. And as we've seen in just the short period that the chat logs were moderated, the problem's worse than anyone could possibly imagine. So I don't really even know what the moral of the story is. I'm still not even done. There's more pages here. This one's called Not Safe for Work Maps, which scans all the maps on Bonk.io for inappropriate names like the word sex, and then you go into it, and then it's from like usernames called lolly r word or 3000 or whatever. Like this one's called Goon Rampage. And Goon Rampage, he's made 7 maps, so he's a pretty prolific map maker. But his highest rated map, which has 180 upvotes, so this would place pretty high on the hot list. It's called Horse Porn. And then his next 2 maps are called Dit Invasion and then Dickland. So and then you go down to the next one, which is the example I just said with the 3000 in the name. And he says, I R-word kids actually, lolly prison sentence, R-word me, so there's just like so many of those. There's so many of those. There's no filter on map names either. And this game mostly contains kids, like young teenagers, 10, 12 even. So, I mean, I don't know what to even do about this, because I can't do anything. I've done as much as I can. All I can really do is take all of this evidence of pedophilic content on Bonk.io and take all this evidence of pedophiles on Bonk.io and inappropriate names and all of this stuff and show it to Chaz and be like, you have to do something. This game is actively endangering children. What are you doing, Chaz? Okay. Not good. I would give this situation a 1 out of 10, because I'm going to get banned. Chaz is going to ban me or something because of the Shunk bots, because people emailed Chaz or something and told him, the Shunk bots are so annoying. You go onto the Bonk.io subreddit and it says, Shunk is actually pathetic. Does anyone else think Shunk should kill himself? Or, stuff like that. They're right. They're right. I'm extremely pathetic and extremely desperate. Yep. So, let's see. Is there anything else? Probably not. If Chaz does something, that's more than we could really ask for. This is the first time he's come back to Bonk for anything. He joined the Good Strat parkour competition Discord server. This video is probably rambling quite a bit, but I don't really know what to say. It's extremely hot in my car. I don't look very good. I look a little disheveled. I wanted to wait until the weekend so I could, shave, put on a mask or something. But, wow. It's like 100 degrees in this car. Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and we'll be back. We'll be back next weekend for more vlogs and more travel content. Thank you.